questions. You, on all the social media platforms that we're on right now, will type in any healthcare questions that you might have. They will appear on Joe, my producer's and assistant, screen. At the 24-minute break, he will ask me the questions. I will answer them for you live, and then we go back to doing another 24-minute segment, and then we answer live questions again. Do me a favor. If you're listening to us live right now, type in hashtag live, the hashtag symbol live. If you're listening to this on a recording, hit hashtag replay. And the reason I say that is that the bots that control the world pick up those hashtags, and they determine how many listeners we have. And, of course, the more listeners we have, the higher we rank, and then we get to spread the word of all this natural health and wellness to the whole world, so I need your help for that. So hashtag live or hashtag replay. I am ready to go whenever you are, Joe.
All right, yeah, I think I might have hit the wrong button in the beginning, so Facebook might not have heard you, but 24 minutes, questions, 24 minutes, more questions.
There you go, 24 minutes questions, 24 minutes more questions. So there you go. Sorry about that, Facebook. We little technical error there.
Yeah, I need to move that button somewhere else.
Yeah, that's right.
Do a whole lot.
It's their fault. It's not Joe's fault. He's never wrong.
But Instagram heard it, and they already got questions.
All right, Instagram's rocking, so good. All right, you ready to rock? Dun, 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 dun. Fanfare for the common man. Emerson Lincoln Palmer redid it. Who did it originally? Can't remember.
By Aaron Copeland.
Aaron Copeland, there you go. I couldn't think of it on the air the other day. I needed
nerd.
Joe there. So, all right, ready? Hey, folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. I am very happy that you're here with us today. I'm going to give you some secrets today. Everybody likes secrets, right? I'm going to share some secrets with you, my family, my listeners. I'm going to give you the secrets to living longer. Now, in the game of life, who wins? The people that win live the longest, the happiest, and healthiest. And in the end, of course, death is the great equalizer. We all get buried 6 feet under. We all get buried in the same square box. But who wins is the people that get to enjoy life, healthy and happy, and the longest life. I've recently had two very close people close to me pass away, my mother and my best friend, Larry. And so I really started to think about my own mortality. And I started to think about the importance of life and what to do with it. It's an interesting question. What do you do with a life? It's a great gift. So I'm going to give you some secrets today. Again, no promises, no guarantees, but this is what the research is showing, that you can really extend your life dramatically, not just quality, but quantity. So we're going to do both. I don't want to be, laying in a hospital bed with tubes in every orifice of my body as in my later years. I want to be like a candle. I heard this analogy a while ago. It was great. A candle is bright the minute it lights, and then it flickers a little bit, and then it goes out. But it's bright the whole time. And so I have patients. I see people that are 80, 90, 100, coming in, joking, having fun, driving. I mean, a simple thing like that we take for granted as we're younger. I want that. And I said, what am I going to do to get there? And so I base everything I teach you guys on that premise. What can we do to add quality and quantity to your life? And the nice part about this is it's cheaper than anything you're doing right now. It's more fun than anything you're doing right now. Nutritionally, it tastes better than anything you're eating right now. There's no reason not to do this, except one. The only reason not to do what I teach you is that bad food tastes good. I remember. I was normal once. It was about 35 years ago when I was normal. But I was normal once, and I meatball sandwiches and double beef cheese hamburgers, and I liked those things. They tasted great. But when you understand how bad they are for you, you stop doing it. It's all about education, okay? And so we're going to teach you not just nutrition habits, but life habits. So what I've done for many years now, decades now, I've kind of filtered through medical journals pretty much on a daily basis. And I've put together the best actions that you can take to achieve a longer, happier, fuller, successful life. Now, no promises, no guarantees. Genetics account for about 25% of your longevity. 75% is up to you. And so you could say, well, my family lived long. I have my grandparents, my mother, my father, they had long, very long lives. Well, that's 25%. If they died early, it's 25%. So you have control of this, and that's what's so cool. 75%. Right? If you're taking a test, you pass with 75%. So you can control the other 75%. So let's start out with a couple of food things. People ask me, Dr. Joe, what should I eat, of course? If you don't know what to eat, go to our website, drjoe.com, and type in, so what can I eat? And on there, we have an hour. It's just me sitting in a studio, just rambling on, mindlessly about breakfast, lunches, dinner, snacks, parties, raising kids, pantry, what to have in your pantry, get out of the pantry. And here's the thing about nutrition. Nutrition and health is a journey. You're not going to do it all at once. You're going to backslide. That's okay. You don't have to do everything I say. I was talking to one of our patients yesterday, and she said, Dr. Joe, you said something on the radio that really impressed me the other day. And you said you don't have to cut out all the bad foods at once. Because I listened to you for years. And I said, I can't do all of that. And when you said that, she goes, that's when I decided I was going to become a patient of yours. And she brought in her mom, and we went over mom's x-rays yesterday and probably saved her life, actually. We found some hardening of the arteries in there, and usually nutritionally caused and nutritionally fixed, which is kind of nice. So she said she got it. So you don't have to do everything at once. So this is a journey. And in a journey, sometimes there's stops along the way. So when it comes to eating, people say, well, I don't know what to have in my refrigerator. Get some frozen organic vegetables. They're really cheap. You can buy them for $1 or $2 a bag, probably $2 a bag now, and just have them in your freezer. Now, frozen is fine. Fresh is the best. But sometimes fresh vegetables aren't always in season, and so they're off season. They're grown in another country. They may have pesticides, whatever. So just get some organic frozen veggies. And when you need a quick meal, open up the freezer. I do this. And say, what am I going to make today? One of my real quick, easy, fun meals is I just take a bag of frozen organic peas. I put a little salt and pepper on it. I heat them up, boil them. May put some nutritional yeast on it. Again, you don't have to be perfect. Put some organic gluten-free breadcrumbs on there if you want to. And mix it all up, and maybe some olive oil, and you've got yourself basically a pea casserole. Quick, easy, cheap, filling, tastes great. No reason not to do it. Lunch for $3, dinner for $3, and you don't have to go anywhere to get it. So frozen foods are okay. Okay, they're not bad. Another thing that kills a lot of people is medication. Now, I'm not a medical doctor. I don't claim to be a medical doctor. I cannot give you medication. I cannot tell you to not take medication. But one of the things that kills a lot of people is painkillers. Even over-the-counter stuff like ibuprofen, naproxen, acetaminophen. Ibuprofen, by the way, is for inflammation, I, inflammation, ibuprofen. Acetaminophen blocks the pain. Some people respond better to one. Some people respond better to the other. Now they finally have them in one pill, which I thought, not a big fan of pills, but I thought it was a good marketing tool. But if you take them, that can raise your risk of heart attack and stroke by 10%. That's according to the Food and Drug Administration Advisory Panel Review. So whoever those people smarter than us are. Prescription strength painkillers may increase your risk by 20 to 50%, your risk of heart attack and stroke. Now, if you're in pain, and I'm a chronic pain patient, I had a traumatic brain injury as a child. I got hit by a car, I broke my neck, broke my back. So I understand pain. I'm a chronic pain patient. I'm a chronic pain sufferer. The thing that keeps me off the medication is chiropractic care. It's probably the reason you and I are sitting here talking today. So chiropractic care, to me, is the miracle, the greatest thing that ever happened in medicine. Now, if I need heart surgery, I want a surgeon. If I need brain surgery, I want a neurosurgeon. But for overall health, chiropractic is the most effective, least expensive treatment for pain. I can't imagine why the whole world is not getting regular chiropractic checkups. If I were Grand Poobah of the universe, instead of forcing people to put stuff over my face and stick needles in me, I would say let's do health as a mandatory, government mandatory health. Wouldn't that be an interesting thing? So chiropractic care, amazing for the nervous system. Digestive system, big issue. Second reason we see patients is digestion. So many times it's a physical problem. The stomach is physically pushing into the diaphragm. You might get acid reflux, burping, gas, bloating, heartburn, diarrhea, constipation. Physically, we need to massage or pull the stomach away from the diaphragm. It's not a chemical problem in many cases. It's a physical problem, and we're trying to treat it chemically. Doesn't work. That's why all you out there with acid reflux and heartburn are taking all these pills, and you never get better. The reason is it's probably, no guarantees, the stomach is pushing physically against the diaphragm. We need to pull it back down. It's a chiropractic adjustment. Usually you think about that with the spine. We can do it on the organs themselves. We can do feet, arms, legs, knees, hips. We can adjust anything in the body. So the number one way to get rid of pain, most effective, least expensive, is chiropractic care. And if we can get you off those prescription medication, we reduce your risk of heart attack and stroke from 20 to 50%. So if you have severe pain, absolutely take the medication. I'm not saying you don't. You don't need it, but come see us and let's say if we can reduce or eliminate the need for the medication. You decide that, not me. So if you'd like to make an appointment, we'd love to see you. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. That's the Atlanta area. I know the show goes all over the world. And we would love the opportunity to see you, talk to you. Normally, the first visit is $712. We've reduced that to $299. Exam, x-rays, consultation, first treatment, going over the x-rays, nutrition evaluation. X-rays alone usually cost more than $299 anywhere else. So you're getting all that, and then we want to put you on a treatment plan. So if you come in, be prepared to continue with treatment. I want a one and done. One visit is not going to do you a darn bit of good. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. If you're serious about wanting to get well, that first visit is $299. You can book it right online, drjoe.com. But that's probably, that and nutrition are the two things that you have control over and that work so well for patient longevity. And I want you to experience that. I've had chiropractors die early because they didn't eat right. I have had raw food vegans die early because they had neurological issues, pinched nerves, and they didn't fix it. Put the two together. You have the knowledge and the opportunity to utilize this. Why wouldn't you do it? I don't want you, and so many people come to me, Dr. Joe, I've been following you for 40 years now. I wish I'd listened to you 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 40 years ago, because now I'm too late. I'm too far gone. Wow, you were right. I don't want to be right. I just want you to come see us, drjoe.com. Other things that we can do to extend our lives. Get more sleep. Very important. Consistently sleeping less than 6 hours a night doubles your risk of heart attack and stroke. So here, two things. Cutting out the medication. Heart attack and stroke increase your risk by 50%, up to 50%. 6 hours a night or less doubles the risk of heart attack and stroke. That's 100% if I'm adding up right, aren't I? Wow. So something as good as sleep can change your life. 15 different studies. This was reviewed in the European Heart Journal. One study found consistently sleep-deprived people were 12% more likely to die over a 25-year period. So heart attack, stroke, and of course, heart attack and stroke you don't have to die from, of course, but death is kind of final. So a couple of things. We did a show on sleep. If you go to our website, drjoe.com, you just type in sleep and listen to the show. We have over 2,000 hours of shows on the website. They're absolutely free. Just go to the website, type in what you're looking for. So we did a whole show on sleep. So make the room as dark as possible. If you can't do it with blackout curtains, get a mask for your eyes and black that out. You want the temperature, 68 to 72 degrees, 60 to 67 degrees is one study. So you want it cool. Let's say in the 60s, somewhere. This way we don't have to argue over that. I like to have a fan on at night. For some reason, I sleep better with a fan. Keep your body in motion. If you're sitting around all day, you're not going to get a good night's sleep. You're just lazy. We've all done that. So get out, move, garden, hike. You don't have to hit the gym. You don't have to hit the weights. You don't have to do aerobics. Just get out and move. That's really, really so important. Take the stairs when you can. Park far away when you can. Fidgeting. Fidgeting is actually something that can increase your life expectancy. Just bouncing your legs up and down when you're sitting. Something to keep the body in motion is really important. Try to get to a regular sleep schedule. My big issue personally is if I go to sleep around 9 o'clock at night, I don't get a good night's sleep. I fall asleep, no problem, because I'm exhausted, but I don't get a good night's sleep. 10 to 11 is my magic Goldilocks zone. So find your Goldilocks zone where you're going to sleep through the night the best. Try not to drink a lot of water later in the evening, because then you got to get up and pee. And now, if you get up and pee and go back to bed and fall right to sleep, not a problem for you. For me, I sometimes wake up and I can't get back to sleep. Get out of bed if you can't sleep. If you're laying in bed 10, 15 minutes, you're not going to sleep, get up. I have a wonderfully comfortable chair and something called a keeping room in my house. And I'll go sit in my keeping room chair. And many times I'll fall asleep in there, and then I'll get up and I'll go to bed. Shut down your electronics, phones, computers, things like this. Usually about an hour before going to sleep if you can. I know I'm not always good about that, but shutting out the electronics can help you sleep as well. And I was at a big party the other day, and a very dear friend of mine said to me, Hey, Joe, how often should we replace a mattress? Mattresses have designed obsolescence. It's built into it so they wear out, usually about 7 to 10 years. I have a Sleep Number bed. Now I have a different mattress. I have a Sleep Number bed. And I liked it because it was an air mattress. You could fill it up however you wanted to, and it didn't wear out. You just put more air in it. So those are just some tips on trying to sleep better. Duke University studied 252 people for 25 years, and they concluded that frequent romance, we'll keep it clean, it's a family show, was a significant predictor of longevity in men. So, gentlemen, you now have an excuse. You can say, well, Dr. Joe said 25% a significant predictor of longevity in men. So romance is helpful for men. That was men they studied. I've seen studies for women as well. So it's something important because it helps physically get the body working, but it also helps emotionally, neurologically. It releases chemicals like dopamine, norepinephrine, adrenaline, serotonin levels. I know when you fall in love, your serotonin levels drop and you do stupid things. But then once you go from the romantic phase, first 6 months to a year, the dopamine phase, and your brain switches over to something called the oxytocin phase. Oxytocin is the neurotransmitter that bonds you to somebody. So if you get out of the dopamine phase and into the oxytocin phase, your serotonin levels come back up again. You get more logical. You don't do stupid things. And the brain is happier. So there's actually neurology, a lot of neurology research behind falling in love, being in love, and then romance as well. So anyway, that's another show. I'm going to do a whole show on that, I think, one day, on how the brain works on romance. It's kind of fun stuff. So what we're talking about today is we're talking about secrets to living longer. I've spent most of my life, actually, reading very boring medical journals that most of us would fall asleep to, and many times I do too. But these are the things I've compiled that come up time and time again to help increase longevity. Now, if you're just joining us, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. My website, drjoe.com, drjoe.com, we have over 2,000 hours of podcasts on the website, drjoe.com. And if you're looking for a certain topic, just type it in the search bar. If you use a podcast company, service, whatever it is, just type in Dr. Joe for the health of it. Dr. Joe for the health of it. And we have hundreds and hundreds of hours of podcasts there as well. Follow us on social media. We post a lot of information on social media. We have giveaways all the time. We give away things. So it's at Dr. Joe Esposito. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn. I think we're on LinkedIn too. So follow us. We'd love to have you follow us and then share this information with other people, because what could be more valuable in the world? What could be more valuable than what I'm sharing with you right now? Nothing. All the money in the world and you're sick and dying, doesn't matter. Okay, I watched my mother, as a matter of fact. I held her hand as she passed. And I thought everything she worried about, all the time she didn't do what she wanted to do because she wanted to make somebody better. She wanted to make somebody else happier. It wasn't something she thought would be financially rewarding. When I held her hand and she passed, none of that mattered. So I wish that my wish is that I can share this knowledge with you so that you can live a long, happy, healthy life. And believe me, it's worth it. If there was a better way to stay healthy, I would be doing it. Like I said, I research this stuff all day, every day. If there's a better way to do it, I would do it myself. And I'd share it with you too, because I'm just like that. But I want to give you as much information as we can. All right, other things. When it comes to eating fruits and vegetables, we said frozen is okay, but I like fresh as well. But ripe fruits and vegetables have the most amount of nutrients in them. Now, it's the Goldilocks zone again. If they're too ripe, mushy bananas, not a good idea. But ripe and sweet is designed, that's how nature designs it, so that we enjoy it the most. If it's fruits, vegetables, same thing. So one of the worst things we could eat is rancid oils. Now, you want to try to avoid processed oils as much as possible. I don't 100% avoid them, but if you're going to use oils, make sure it's organic, coconut oil, olive oil, but very, very, very limited amounts. Try to use as little as possible if you can. But if it's rancid, if something tastes bad, if it's a potato chip, if it's a bag of nuts, if it's a cracker, if it tastes bad, it's usually because the oils have gone rancid. And the only thing worse than regular bad oil is rancid oil. That's bad. So try to stay away from peanut oil, soybean oil, canola oil. Those are all high in omega-6 fatty acids. That causes inflammation, speeds up the aging process. And try to eat as fresh as possible if you can. If something tastes bad, don't say, I'm going to eat it anyway. Throw it away. And nuts are a big one like that. Nuts go bad relatively quickly. Throw them away. You've heard me talk so many times about the aging process and sugar. When sugar combines with certain proteins, it creates something called advanced glycated end products. Okay? AGE, advanced glycated end products. Age. It's funny that those letters spell out age, but that mnemonic is age, and that's what it does. So the sugars and the proteins can get into your connective tissue, and connective tissue is if you ever eat a piece of chicken and there's the white fibrous things that holds the pieces of meat together. I don't eat meat, but I used to. That would be like a connective tissue. It just kind of holds everything together. And the advanced glycated end products get into your skin and can attack the connective tissue and eat away at it. And so that's why as we get older, things start to droop. That's part of life. But we want to stop that as much as possible. And people that smoke, of course, tons of free radicals, like advanced glycated end products. And the free radicals eat away at the connective tissue as well. And that's why you look at a smoker, they're all wrinkly. Because it's 100 trillion free radicals per puff of cigarettes. 100 trillion per puff. So you're literally pouring acid essentially into your connective tissue and it's just eating away at it. So we want to try to have as few free radicals as possible and as many antioxidants as possible. Antioxidants combat free radicals. That's how it works. So that's why eating a good diet of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, taking supplements, the minimum supplements, of course, would be Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source. Minimum supplements you should take every single day. What that's going to do is help fight off those free radicals. And avoiding putting in the free radicals and then adding the antioxidants, you have control over that. You might not have control if you get hit by lightning. You might have control if you're on a plane and it crashes. You have control over your nervous system and your digestive system and your diet in most cases. There's no reason why you shouldn't be taking the bull by the horns and taking advantage of this knowledge that we're sharing today. So, antioxidants, very good. Dr. Joe's Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source, 2 powders. They taste great. Mix them together. Coconut milk, almond milk, water, smoothie. Take it every day. In fact, I just had a patient come in the office, and she said to me, she goes, my son yelled at me this morning. And I said, why? He said, Mom, we are out of Super Greens and Essential Source. We need Super Greens and Essential Source. Go get it now. And she smiled at me, and she says, I love when he gets angry. We don't have good products in the house. And I said, wasn't it great? The kid's excited about taking Super Greens and Essential Source. Anyway, they're on the website, drjoe.com, or come pick them up. They're available in all our offices, Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb, Atlanta area. So a high sugar diet will raise your blood sugar, which wreaks havoc on your heart by increasing levels of low-density lipoproteins, the bad cholesterols, while lowering the high-density lipoproteins, which are the good cholesterols, and tripling your risk of fatal heart disease. Tripling your risk of fatal heart disease from sugar. Now, you can even eat a vegan diet and eat sugar. There are certain chocolate cookies with vanilla cream in the middle. Those are vegan. They're not good for you, but they're vegan. Breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, pastas, a lot of them have no animal products, which is great, but it's still sugar. So you really want to start cutting back on your breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, pastas, and of course, added sugar as well. American Heart Association recommends women consume no more than 6 teaspoons of added sugar a day and men 9 teaspoons a day. I even think that's high. But let's put this in something you can understand. 9 teaspoons of sugar, maximum a man should have in a day. How much sugar in a can of soda? 9 teaspoons. 1 can of soda a day is all the sugar, all the carbohydrates you should eat for an entire day. How many people drink soda every day and eat food? A lot of you. I really want you to look at that sugar content and cut it back. And it's not just added sugar. It's the breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, pastas. I love those things. I'm Italian. I'm not going to lie to you. I love those things. But I really want you to cut back or cut them out. And the problem is that once you have some sugar, it stimulates the nucleus accumbens in your brains. The nucleus accumbens release dopamine. Dopamine is picked up by dopamine receptor sites, and you get high. And I am just like you. If I have a little bit of sugar, I want more sugar. I always say I can't eat a cookie. I can eat a box of cookies, but I can't eat a cookie. Because once those dopamine, the dopamine is released and the receptor sites pick it up, baby, you're flying. You have a piece of bread, what do you want? More bread. I know, I'm Italian. I would love to eat a whole loaf of Italian bread right now. Crunchy Italian bread from New York. Oh, it'd be beautiful. Folks, I'm almost out of time for this segment of the show. If you have any healthcare questions, send them to me through the website, drjoe.com, drjoe.com. Follow us on social media at Dr. Joe Esposito, and make an appointment to come see us. Let's put together a protocol for you, your friends, your family, your children, so that we can give you all the opportunities available to you for a long and healthy life. I can't promise or guarantee anything, but I'm hedging my bets. I'm betting my life on it, as a matter of fact. So if you want to make an appointment, normally the first visit is $712. We've reduced that to $299. We accept people with all insurances, no insurances, car accidents, sports injuries. Folks, if you're ever in a car accident, please come see us immediately. If the car's damaged, you're damaged. I've been doing this for 40 years. I'm getting good at it. I even teach doctors and lawyers and physical therapists how to manage car accidents. So make your appointment right now. drjoe.com, Atlanta, Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. The website, drjoe.com. Bam. Yes. Who's texting me while I'm doing a show?
Maybe they have a question.
Ah, that could be. All right. I'll answer it later. Okay. What else? I'll answer it now while we're talking.
All right. How about someone's looking to heal anxiety and OCD?
Ah, that's actually a very good question, and we get that a lot. There. Okay. Setting up our new referral network called Health Plus Connections, and that was Jen who's setting it up with us. Usually it's a digestive problem. How's that for something you never heard before? Your stomach has one job, and that job is to take proteins, whether it's from a carrot or a steak, unravel them, and chop them up into something called amino acids. Now, the amino acid tryptophan becomes serotonin in the brain, and serotonin is why low serotonin causes anxiety and depression. So we have to raise the serotonin levels. 95% of the serotonin in your body is not used in your brain, it's used in your digestive system. So if there's a shortage, the digestive system gets 95% of whatever is there, the brain gets the other 5%. So if you have acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating, come see us. Many, many times. I had somebody one time, I remember he was in Asheville, North Carolina, when I first got in practice, called me up, and he said, I am going to commit suicide today. I thought he was joking. He was serious. I said, come see me now. He said, I'm getting in the car now. I'm driving from Asheville. I have to see you today. Young guy, drove in. He said, I've read your research on neurotransmitters. He said, if you can't fix me today, I'm going to kill myself. He was not kidding. So we worked on him. We calmed him down. We got him some food. He was hypoglycemic. We adjusted his stomach. We adjusted his spine. We got him on some supplements. And he came in the next day, and he crying. And he said, you saved my life. He says, I can't believe the difference in a few hours, what a difference it was. Now, sometimes it takes a little longer than that, but he was one of those miracle cases. So go to our website, drjoe.com, type in the word anxiety, brain function, depression, listen to the shows we've done, and then come see us. The supplements, of course, Super Greens, Essential Source, digestive enzymes is important for anxiety and depression and OCD because you got to break down the proteins into amino acids. Probiotics for digestion, glutathione for liver function. So Super Greens, Essential Source, digestive enzymes, glutathione, probiotics, and then come see us because it's a very serious condition that you have, and I can't promise you we can fix it, but I can promise you that in most cases we get amazing results. So don't suffer with that. We've all been depressed. We've all had anxiety. Let's see what we can do to help you. I'd love that opportunity. I'd be honored to work with you. So, next question. drjoe.com. Listen to the shows.
All right, have somebody made a comment, said they've been mostly vegetarian for 2 years and their health has gotten worse.
Gotten worse. Okay, so then I'd have to sit there and look at what you're eating. Like I said, cookies can be vegetarian. Bread can be vegetarian. I'm not accusing you of anything because I don't know what you're eating. But we have to find out what else is going on. Check the nervous system. Check the digestive system. What kind of vegetarian are you? Are you getting enough sleep? Is there other issues involved? So vegetarian is good. Vegan is worlds and worlds apart, okay? So I'd say come see us and go to a plant-based diet. Go to our website, drjoe.com, listen to So What Can I Eat? And then you probably want to come see us because I think something's wrong, and I was going to say you're doing something wrong. I don't want to accuse you, but something's not right, and let's find out why. Because there is no healthier diet in the world than a plant-based diet. So. What else?
All right, somebody's looking for your thoughts on Delta 8 and the gummies, I guess, in particular.
Not a fan. It's a synthetic version of THC, and I'm not a fan of mind-altering drugs, so I'm not a fan of Delta 8. I would not recommend it because it does. The studies are coming out now that it does affect the brain, short-term and long-term. So I'm not a fan of synthetic THC or natural occurring THC. So, what else?
All right. If you don't get over 6 hours of sleep, do daytime naps help?
Yes, absolutely. Daytime naps, meditation. I studied transcendental meditation in high school, in college, but a 20-minute meditation session is about the equivalent of about 2 or 3 hours of sleep. So if you can't get to sleep, at least learn how to meditate and do your 20-minute meditations, and that'll give you that, make up the difference. And naps work too, but meditation is way deeper than napping. So, what else?
All right, even way better than that. Sourdough bread, is it good to eat?
Nope, still wheat. Sorry, I know I love sourdough bread. Love it, but no, sorry, hate to burst your bubble. Not good.
So that we don't get the follow-ups of every other type of bread, what is the least bad bread?
Joe learns my terminology so well. I would stay away from all wheat, okay? If you have to do a bread, and you shouldn't, but if you have to, organic gluten-free bread would be your better choice. It doesn't taste very good, so you're going to eat less of it. It doesn't taste bad. It just doesn't taste as good as regular bread. People ask about Ezekiel bread and sprouted bread. Again, not as bad, but again, health is a journey. You're not going to go to the finish line right away. So if you go with regular bread to Ezekiel bread to gluten-free bread to no bread, that's the way to do it. Now, periodically, I just bought some gluten-free organic dinner rolls. I want to try them because people always ask me, what about this? What about this? I tried them. They were okay. They weren't great, but here's the thing. It's still a concentrated sugar. It's made with rice flour and tapioca, I think. And they're small. They were, I don't know, maybe 2 inches by 2 inches. So I had one, then I had two, then I had three. And then I woke up again and I said, I could go for some more of those. Why? Because it's a sugar. So my brain works just like your brain, folks. I ain't any different than you. What else?
All right, here's a regular question, I think. Thoughts on intermittent fasting?
Love it. It's great. Intermittent fasted Sunday night. I usually intermittent fast Sunday nights because I'll usually have a bigger meal about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I go do a radio show on Sunday nights. I hope you listen to that one as well on WSB Radio, WSB.com, 750 AM, 95.5 FM in Atlanta. And so and then I just go to do the show. I'm good, and then I go to bed. So, but skipping dinner is really a great thing to do. You can skip breakfast if you want to, but intermittent fasting is awesome. Yeah, do it as often as you can.
All right. Is it okay to take 5-HTP on its own, or is GABA better?
Well, 5-HTP becomes serotonin. GABA is a separate neurotransmitter. So your stomach breaks proteins into amino acids. Amino acid tryptophan combines with B6 and creates 5-HTP. 5-HTP becomes serotonin. Serotonin becomes melatonin. So that's how smart I am. That's the only thing I ever memorized. So 5-HTP becomes serotonin, which becomes melatonin. GABA is a separate neurotransmitter, which then suppresses pain. So if you fix your digestive system, you're breaking down proteins to get serotonin, okay, to get the tryptophan becomes serotonin, and then you're also breaking down the proteins to create glutamine, which then becomes GABA. So if you're taking both of those, you want to look at your digestive system, and that's a better way to fix it. Is, maybe come see us and get your stomach adjusted. Super Green's an essential source, raw foods, digestive enzymes. That's how you fix the gut. Let's go to the website, type in digestion. We did a show on digestion. It'll talk about that. So neither of them, they're okay. Neither of them are good, though, long term, because then your body gets used to it. So I'd rather fix your gut. So, what else you got?
All right, so another Delta 8 here. It said brother is taking Delta 8 and helping him sleep. You just said it's not good. So what is?
Well, if you go to our website, drjoe.com, type in the word sleep and listen to the show we did on sleep. Because the problem with Delta 8, it gets you high. I've taken it. I mean, like I said, I experiment with a lot of these things, folks. And I took it. I was stoned out of my mind that day. And I thought, wow, that was way too powerful. It was a Saturday, I remember. I sat in my comfy chair there, and I thought, if the house burns down right now, I ain't getting out. I mean, I was really blitzed. So he takes it to sleep, but it may be something else. What's causing the sleep issues is the question. And I'd rather listen to the show we did on sleep and then fix the digestive system so you get proteins break down to amino acids, creates tryptophan. Tryptophan becomes serotonin. Serotonin becomes melatonin. That's how you fix a sleep issue, not by taking Delta 8.
All right, so since you said wheat's bad, what about oats?
Oats are okay. Now, oats have a protein in it called avenin, and avenin is similar to gluten. So people that are super sensitive to gluten may have a reaction to oats. Now, there are, and many times it's cross-contaminated. They're made in the same factory. So you might make sure they're gluten-free oats, and then if you still have a reaction, it's the avenin in the oats which is causing the problem, and so you might want to avoid them. But oats, generally speaking, are great. So.
Any other grains you recommend?
Quinoa is great. I like quinoa. I had some last night. Didn't I have quinoa? Yeah, that's right. I went to a salad bar last night. I had some quinoa. Teff is okay. Teff makes something called injera bread, if you know what Ethiopian food is. So teff is okay. Now, if you go to an Ethiopian restaurant in America, many times they mix the teff with wheat. So you can tell them you're gluten-free, and many times they actually have teff injera in the back for the Ethiopians. So they don't like the American version of it. So that might be something to consider as well. So teff is okay. Quinoa, spelt, those are all okay grains. What else?
All right, I think this is going to be the last one here. Somebody's looking for some helpful suggestions on Barrett's esophagus.
As I fix my own Barrett's esophagus from drinking the tea wrong. Barrett's esophagus is caused by the stomach pushing up into the diaphragm through what's called the lower esophageal sphincter. Lower esophageal sphincter gets stretched out, scar tissue forms around the sphincter, and it's called Barrett's esophagus. I don't know who Barrett was. I have a friend of mine named Cher. Her son's name is Barrett, but that's all I know. It's the only Barrett I ever met. And so scar tissue forms. So what we need to do is physically pull the stomach down away from the diaphragm, and then there's a technique we use that can actually try to massage or break up some of that Barrett's esophagus by flipping our fingers. And many times we can pull the stomach down and adjust the nerve supply to the diaphragm, which is the fourth cervical nerve, the phrenic nerve that goes to the diaphragm, and get the nerve supply working and get the stomach below the diaphragm. Hopefully that elasticity to the Barrett's esophagus can return, depending how much scar tissue there is, depending on our success rate. But in most cases, very high success rate. So come see us for that. You're making me think today. A lot of good questions here. I don't know where you're pulling these out of. A lot of technical stuff. I like that.
Google?
Yeah. You can't see it. I have Google behind the camera here. No, I don't. That's all my brain.
Dr. Google. Yes.
Dr. Google, yeah.
No.
What else you got?
That's going to be it for the moment.
All right, let's do part 2. We may have to do this next week, too. I got a lot more stuff to talk about, so we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll do part 3 and 4 next week. You guys got good questions, and obviously it's working, so I want to keep you guys motivated. Another text. Let me see who it is. Nope. Party City, 15% off a purchase of $59 or more. I don't need that. All right, ready? Hey, folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. I'm so glad you're with us today. Great day today, actually. Great show. A lot of good energy, a lot of good information. And what I'm sharing with you today are secrets that I've come up with over the past, I've been in practice 37 years, but of course my college and everything. So I've been researching this for about 40 years now. These are the secrets that I've come up with to help you live longer. I can't say make you, but help you live longer. And there's no promises and there's no guarantees, but 25% of your longevity comes from your genetics, mom and pop. The other 75% you are in total control over. And not total control over, most control over. And so that's why I want to share this information with you because, A, I like you guys, and I like my friends to be around me for a long time. I was talking to my computer guy earlier, and I've had the same computer for a long time. He says, it's time to let it go. My car I've had for I don't know how many years now, and my mechanic is like, it's time to let it go. I've lived in the same house for like 30 years now, same office for 37 years. I don't like change. I like people around me to be around me for a long time. Forever is what I'm shooting for. So I want you, our listeners, to be with us as long as possible. So I'm sharing my secrets that I've come up with, reading the research, with you to help you live not only longer, but healthier, happier, and cheaper. There's no downside to this. That's the cool part about this. And so these are our secrets, and only you guys get to hear it. So, all right. I want you to consider a couple of things, and we've talked about this many, many times. But vitamin D is so important to keeping you young. Now, it's produced by sunlight, has a lot of health benefits, including linked to longevity. But too much vitamin D is not good, and too little is no good. So it's called the Goldilocks zone. The Goldilocks zone is that area right where you want to be that makes you happy, that gives you the best results. So sunlight is great. There's a downside. Too much sunlight can cause skin issues and burn you. And that can speed up the aging process because it creates free radicals and you get sunburn and wrinkly. So we want to get to that Goldilocks zone. So the Goldilocks zone is 60 to 80 nanograms per milliliter in your blood. Now, the problem I have is that supplements, blood tests, they're all measured in different measurements, nanograms per milliliter and grams and micrograms. And so I don't like it. I wish there would be somebody just come together and say, okay, let's just call all supplements, we're going to measure them in milligrams or whatever. And all blood tests, we're going to measure in whatever it's going to be. But in your blood, I don't have that power. In the blood, 60 to 80 nanograms per milliliter. Here's the problem. If you get your blood work done and you're 40 nanograms per milliliter, they say that's normal. It's average. It's not normal. Normal is where you should be. So 60 to 80 nanograms per milliliter. I take 5 drops of Dr. Joe's vitamin D with K2 every single day. K2 is mixed in with the D3. So it's got to be D3, not D2 in my opinion. D3 is the natural version. D2 is the synthetic version. You have to convert D2 into D3. It doesn't convert all the time. They give you mega doses, which I'm not a fan of mega doses of anything except in an emergency. So Dr. Joe's vitamin D3 with K2, I take 5 drops a day. That's 5,000 international units. Now, if I'm out in the sun all day, well, not all day, but 20 minutes, and my skin starts to turn pink and get warm, that's enough. Stop. That's all the sunlight you can handle in a day. Now, if you've ever been down to, let's say, near the equator, you go to the Caribbean, you'll notice the natives are walking around in long white pants, long white sleeve shirts, and hats. No sunscreen. They know that too much sun is dangerous. It's just part of their culture. They might not even know why. They just know it's part of the culture. You don't see the natives laying out in the sun, do you? No. They're covered up. And they laugh at us stupid, in our case, Americans, laying out in the sun and putting suntan lotion on. It's dangerous. So sun is okay, but I take Dr. Joe's vitamin D3 with K2. It's on the website, drjoe.com. Just go to store, and the products are all there. But that's really important for many, many, many reasons, including longevity, brain function, immunity, calcium, strong bones. So make sure that's K2 in it as well, because otherwise you absorb calcium with vitamin D3. But if you don't take K2 to drive it into the bones, the calcium can build up in your muscles and your blood vessels, and that's not where you want to be. So, again, what we're talking about today are secrets to living the longest life possible. You want to drink water, of course, but you can also drink tea. I want you to cut out your coffee. Sorry, I felt everybody leer at me when I said that. Coffee is one of what I call the 7 deadly sins. It's a strong acid. It has, I've read different studies, the most amount of pesticides and antifungal chemicals sprayed on it. It's a diuretic. It makes you pee. It irritates your bowels. Caffeine is an irritant to the nervous system. And I'll talk about energy in just a second. But you can switch over to tea. Now, teas are good in most cases. Green tea is probably the best. And it's been shown to help increase longevity. But the kicker is that you have to drink about 5 or more cups of green tea a day. And it's associated with a 12% decrease in mortality among men. So switching to tea is great. I have a pantry. I have lots of different teas in there. I drink slippery elm tea because I speak a lot and I speak fast. So slippery elm helps calm my throat, calm my digestive system. Peppermint tea, we did a whole show on this on herbs a couple of weeks ago, drjoe.com. You can type in the word herbs. That should be on the website by now. So teas are great. Black tea has caffeine in it. Black tea also absorbs aluminum from the soil. So it's a source of aluminum, so I'm not a fan of that. So herbal teas, caffeine-free teas, absolutely wonderful, great. I like it a lot. Sweeten it with a little bit of stevia if you want to. What happens is when you start cutting out your sugars, you start craving sugars less and less, and then things that used to taste normal to you are just way too sweet. That's where I want you to be. I want you to work on that so things don't taste as good as they used to be. Another thing that helps you live longer is taking a vacation. Now, I know it's been an issue for the past couple of years. I haven't been able to go on a cruise. I love cruising. And haven't been able to go on a cruise for several years now, and I'm hoping that they relax all the mandates so I can go. But a study of men with high risk of coronary artery disease found that those who failed to take annual vacations were 32% more likely to die of a heart attack. 32%, it's pretty high. That's about a third. Those who vacation just once every 6 years were 8 times more likely to develop coronary heart disease or have a heart attack. And that's compared to women who vacation twice a year. So they found women who vacation twice a year and compared to men who hardly ever vacationed. But yes, the body needs to run and then it needs to rest. And so it's that Goldilocks zone of health. Keep the body in motion, eat the right foods, get chiropractic care, go on vacation, drink teas. Yeah, it's a project. But what greater project than yourself is there? And it's not hard, folks. It's so easy to live a healthy lifestyle. Dr. Joe's Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source. 2 powders. I take them every day. I can't imagine not taking them. I mix it with coconut milk, almond milk, shake it up. If you order it, Joe, who's in charge of our shipping department, even puts a little recipe for a smoothie in there. But I take it every day. I leave it right on my kitchen counter so that every morning when I wake up, first thing I see is Super Greens and Essential Source. And by taking it, it really helps get me going in the morning. Now, if I have company coming or something, I'll put it away in my pantry, but I'll take it right back out and put it on the counter because I have to see it to remember. I have my vitamin D right next to it, 5 drops in there. I have all my supplements. I lay out my supplements for the week in a little container, and I lay out all my supplements. But for energy, you say, Dr. Joe, I need coffee. I'll fall asleep. Super Greens and Essential Source. Nitric oxide. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. I take 1 usually before I do a radio show. Sometimes I'll take 2 or 3 if I have a very busy day. And if it's really a crazy day, I'll take 4. So stuff's amazing. Gives you so much energy. It opens up your blood vessels, lowers your blood pressure, increases circulation to your brain, your sex organs, your arms, your leg, your heart, your stomach, your spleen. Because as we get older, nitric oxide drops. Naturally, you have it. You don't see a lot of young people with high blood pressure. You see a lot of old people with high blood pressure. And one of the reasons is the decrease in nitric oxide in our bodies. So we can replace that very easily, very cheaply. So nitric oxide is part of my energy routine. B vitamins, I take them every day. Dr. Joe's adrenal support, take it every day. Dr. Joe's digestive enzymes. How does that work? If I eat a cooked meal, I take digestive enzymes, helps digest my food better so I can absorb more energy. So if you want more energy and cheaper than taking one of those fancy coffee drinks every day, Super Greens, Essential Source, Nitric Oxide, B-Complex, Adrenal Support. It's part of my protocol every day anyway, but boy, it's a great little hit. And I have nitric oxide in my car, so if for some reason I've had a really stressful day and I need a little boost, some people turn to coffee, I just pop in nitric oxide. And it's good for you. Helps your brain work better. And Super Greens and Essential Source gives you the raw materials for everything to work better. So all that's on the website, drjoe.com, or you can come pick them up. In the Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. And we would love the opportunity for you to come by and pick them up, save some shipping costs. Joe is in charge of my shipping department, and he's more than happy to not have to ship you products. He loves shipping them to you, but he's got plenty to do. Don't worry. He's got job security. And come pick them up. And while you're there, why don't you just set up an appointment to come see us? We would love the opportunities to check your nervous system, your digestive system, and your diet. Let's put together a protocol. Why wouldn't you? There's no reason not to do it. And in the Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. So if you have health issues, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, headaches, numbness, tingling, digestive issues, heartburn, acid reflux, more energy, tired all the time, brain fog, how many people don't have any of those? If you didn't raise your hand, if you raised your hand, you're lying. I've never met somebody who doesn't have some health issues. Come see us. Let's do an evaluation. We'll do an exam, x-rays, consultation. We'll give you your first chiropractic adjustment. Next visit, we'll go over the x-rays with you and do a complete nutrition evaluation. The x-rays alone are worth more than what we charge, $299. Normally it's $712. We charge $299. That's all that. We accept most insurances. In fact, with whatever insurance you have, we're going to work with that insurance company. If you have no insurance, that's fine too. It's the most effective, least expensive treatment for back pain. And in our office, it's way more than back pain. It's a whole nutrition, a whole health protocol. We have other doctors come see us all the time. Doctors, chiropractors that send their family, themselves, and say, I need a nutrition evaluation. I need a chiropractic adjustment, stomach adjustment. I need everything done. Take care of me. Nurses, healthcare providers are some of our best patients. So if you'd like to become a patient, drjoe.com. You can book it right online or call us, and we'll go ahead and get that set up for you. We want to get you well and keep you well. That's our goal. And we're here for you. If you have questions, send them through the website, drjoe.com, drjoe.com. I'm happy to answer them as quickly as I can. Don't get rude with me. If you get rude, I'm not going to answer your questions, just so you know. I'll type it in. We'll get back to you within 24 hours. Don't type it in, wait 5 minutes, go, hello, anybody there? You're off no soup for you. You might get that reference there if you're old enough. No soup for you. So we we try to do everything we can to accommodate you the best we can. But make an appointment, come see us. It really is the best thing you can do for your friends, your family, your children. drjoe.com. It's the best investment, I feel, you'll probably ever make. I can't promise results, so I have to say probably. But as far as health goes, I can't imagine a better health investment than coming to see us. drjoe.com. All right, let's keep talking about some of the secrets I've come up with in the research I've done for the past multiple decades on how to extend your life, how to have quality and quantity in your life. We did a show a couple of weeks ago on herbs and spices, and the show was the healthiest foods in the world, and they're herbs and spices. So if you're taking herbs and spices, that's what I'd suggest. You start adding more herbs and spices to your diet. So you can do that simply by listening to the show we did on herbs and spices, drjoe.com. Hot peppers. Hot peppers are awesome. Hot peppers increase circulation. They have lots of vitamins, minerals, nutrients, vitamin C. So spicing up your life is really something you want to consider doing. Now, it can also spice up your love life. I do a show, I do it about once a year. It's the only show I ever repeat, and it's called The Food Romance Connection. And with the Food Romance Connection, we talk about the foods that work very well to spice up your love life. And it's on the website, drjoe.com. Just type in the food romance or food sex connection. I forget what I called it. But hot peppers. One study did 16,000 men and women. They reported eating hot peppers reduced their risk of dying by 13%. Even a little spice has health benefits because hot peppers not only increase circulation, they increase endorphins in your brain. Now, endorphins are painkillers that are 16 times more powerful than morphine. You're getting high on a good way, not taking Delta 8 or anything like that, but you're getting high from eating hot peppers. So adding spice to your life is great. Oregano, antibiotic, antiviral, antifungal. Basil helps with anxiety. I'm trying to think of the spices we use. Peppers, regular peppers have pepperine. Pepperine helps utilize turmeric more efficiently. Turmeric we talked about is an anti-inflammatory. So you have to eat anyway. You might as well eat good food. Remember that. You have to eat anyway. You might as well eat good food. And the secret to eating good food is this. Get the bad food out of the house. If you have bad food in the house, you're going to eat it. If you have good food in the house, you're going to eat it. If you open up my refrigerator, I have lots of good food. And two reasons. Number one, I want it there because I want to eat it. But I grew up very poor. My father was disabled. He fell off a ladder before I was born, broke his back, fractured his skull, went deaf. He never heard my voice. Might be a blessing, right? But we grew up very poor with my father being disabled and my mother having to stay home and raise me and my sister and take care of my father. So we really found ways to get by. And so I don't waste anything. Kills me to waste things. And so if food is in the refrigerator, I'm going to eat it. And if good food's in the refrigerator, not going bad, I'm going to eat it. So those are just little tricks that work for me. Having it there is very helpful. And I have a great spice rack too, by the way. And I love to add spices to my foods. You got to drink more water. When you're a baby, and we're talking today about longevity, by the way. If you're just joining us, folks, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. We're talking about how to increase your life, longevity, quality, and quantity. And these are some secrets I've come up with. When you're a baby, infant, there's a part of your brain that controls hunger, and the same part of your brain controls thirst, but they're separate. It's called the hypothalamus. As you get older, those two parts of the brain grow together. And when they grow together, we have a tough time distinguishing between hunger and thirst. And as we get older, it gets harder and harder. And one of the big issues we have with seniors is that they just don't want to drink water. I don't want to do it. I'm not thirsty. I don't care if you're thirsty. You have to do it. And water is going to be a key to adding many, many years to your life. And the way we know we're drinking enough water is this. When you pee, it should come out clear or maybe slightly yellow. And if you want to test it, you can't tell, pee in a clear glass and look at it. Put the glass in the dishwasher when you're done. Don't serve it to your friends. But put it out there and just look at it. And it shouldn't have a lot of stuff floating around in it either. It shouldn't have an odor to it. Now, if you eat asparagus, it's going to have an odor to it. If you eat a lot of garlic, it might have an odor to it. If you take Dr. Joe's B complex, which I take every day, which is something we're going to talk about coming up. I may have to do another whole segment on this. I've got so much more to talk about. But B vitamins will make it your pee turn yellow a little bit. But other than that, you want to make sure your pee is clear. And you want to make sure you're peeing several times a day. If you're only peeing once a day, you're not drinking enough water. Now, let's assume that you just can't drink water. You just won't do it. You refuse to take a bath. Your skin is a sponge. It'll absorb water through the skin. And the story I haven't told the story in a while, is that a woman was pregnant and was very, very, very sick, morning sickness, and I actually thought she was going to die. And I was very concerned. So we got her into a bathtub, and within minutes, it was like a flower. She just blossomed. She couldn't drink, she couldn't eat ice, she couldn't do anything, and she was throwing up. And the water was absorbed right through her skin. Amazing. Probably saved her and the baby, and I'm very glad the baby survived. So it's important that you get enough water in your diet. And so water, and if you won't drink it, at least sit in a bathtub. Now, I use a whole house water filter, because if you take a shower, a hot shower, your pores are going to open up, and you're going to absorb as much chlorine as drinking 8 glasses of water. So if I'm going to take a bath or take a shower, I want to make sure my water has the chlorine and fluorine and other chemicals taken out. So I have a whole house water filter. They ain't cheap. It's about, I think mine was like $2,000, $2,500. Well worth the investment. And here's the thing. If you're healthy and you're eating good foods and you're not eating alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener, you're going to have so much extra money. So I'm not asking you to spend money. I'm asking you to save money, that you can afford chiropractic care, which is very inexpensive. You can afford the supplements we talk about. You can afford a whole house water filter. You can afford to improve the quality of your life, not just by being healthy, but by having more money. So the water filter I have, I know you're going to ask me, it's purelifewaterga.com. Purelifewaterga.com is their website. Tell them I sent you. But that's one that I found that was good. But I want to drink pure water. I want to eat good foods. I want to live as long as I can pain-free. I want to have energy. I want to have my brain working. I want to have my love life working the best it possibly can. All these things are achievable, in most cases, by having a normally functioning nervous system, a normally functioning digestive system, and good nutrition. I can't make it any easier for you. It really is that simple. And it drives me insane. When I walk around a hospital, they build these big, beautiful hospitals, and they look like palaces. And then they're begging people to donate to the hospital. And then people are dying and getting unnecessary treatments. Not always. But I've had so many patients come to us over the years, and they were scheduled for surgery, and whatever we did, they didn't need the surgery anymore. Doctors love us because we get results with their patients where they couldn't get results. In many cases, not always, but not all. So if you'd like to make an appointment, I'm off on a tangent here, drjoe.com, drjoe.com. We'd love to see you. In the Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. All my doctors are handpicked by me. They're trained by me. And here's the kicker. They're my personal doctors. If I don't trust them taking care of me and my loved ones, I don't trust them taking care of you. And it's a challenge finding doctors that meet our standards. And so if you'd like to be seen by my opinion, some of the most amazing doctors in the world, drjoe.com. That's my opinion. It's not a fact. It's in my opinion. Normally the first visit is $712. We've reduced that to $299. That's an exam, x-rays, consultation, first treatment, next visit, going over your x-rays, nutrition evaluation. There's not a better, in my opinion, health investment you'll ever make. And be ready to get more treatment. If it's one visit, if we start taking you on as a patient, chances are you're going to need more visits. So we accept whatever insurance you have. We're going to work with that insurance. We're in most networks, car accidents, sports injuries, workers' comp. Folks, if you're in an accident, please come see us, even if you caused the accident. There's a lot of scam doctors, a lot of scam lawyers out there. I don't want you falling into that trap and not getting well and just becoming part of the machine or the mill, we call it. So drjoe.com. Just make an appointment. We'd love to see you. I'm off on a tangent here. And I'm almost out of time here, so I got to get back on what I'm covering here. Somebody asked earlier about intermittent fasting. A question came in, and I didn't cover it I covered it with them, but I want to cover it with you now, my whole audience. Stop eating at night. I want you to fast at least 12 hours a day. Now, when you say that, Dr. Joe, that's crazy. No. Stop eating at 5 o'clock at night. You can eat again 5 o'clock in the morning. 12 hours. I want you to give your body a rest for at least 12 hours. If you can do 18 hours, that's even more better. So if you stop eating dinner, maybe cut out dinner, have dinner early, have dinner at 4 o'clock, then you're going to give yourself 18-hour intermittent fasting a day. Unbelievable. It's one of the easiest, quickest things that you can do. Sleep doesn't burn a lot of calories. It also increases the risk of heart disease by 55%. Once again, these numbers come up from the studies if you're eating late at night. So stop eating. My secret, again, this is all about me today. My secrets, I floss and brush when I'm done eating. And then I'm too darn lazy to floss and brush again, so I have to stop eating. So it's a little trick that I do. So after dinner, I floss and brush, and then I'm not tempted to eat anymore. And if I am tempted, I'm like, I already flossed and brushed. And then you make that your routine. And that routine works really well, works for me. You can steal my routine. I'm happy to share it with you. Almost out of time. I want to cover this. Study of 73,000 adults, most in their mid to upper 50s. People that ate a plant-based diet, or they said vegetarians, not even plant-based, were 12% less likely, according to the Journal of American Medical Association, to die from any cause of any disease. Okay? Vegans were great, then vegetarians. Vegan, plant-based is the best way to go. You can be vegan and not plant-based. You can eat vegan junk food. Vegan, plant-based is the best way to go. If you don't know what to eat, drjoe.com. Type in the words, so what can I eat? We have that's one of the 2,000 hours of free podcasts we have for you. It's all on the website, drjoe.com. If you have questions, send them through the website, drjoe.com. I will get to you, I promise. Don't get nervous. If 24 hours passes and I didn't answer it, then you can get nervous. But give me some time to get to you. Follow us on social media at Dr. Joe Esposito. Our handle on social media at Dr. Joe Esposito, so do that. If you're a podcast junkie, Dr. Joe for the health of it in your podcast service. But most important thing, just come see us, drjoe.com. In the Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. I look forward to helping you get well and stay well. You have any questions?
I have lots of questions.
Oh, wow. Okay. What's today's date? 19th. What do you got?
Somebody's looking for some suggestions for glaucoma. I'm assuming you're not going to say Delta 8.
Not Delta 8, correct. I have macular degeneration. Now, glaucoma is different than macular degeneration, but a diet high in antioxidants is always going to be the preferred way to go. I'm not saying I have a cure for it. My macular degeneration has gotten about 50 to probably 70% better doing what I do. And on my website, drjoe.com, just type in macular degeneration, pictures of my eyes, those are my eyes, on the website. And you can see the improvement year after year after year. So with glaucoma, plant-based diet, digestive enzymes. You want to get enzymes into the body, but I want you to take the enzymes between meals. So if you take it with a meal, it's going to digest the meal. If you take it between meals on an empty stomach or wake up in the morning and take it right away, wait a half hour, those enzymes can get into the blood system. It might help. I'm not saying I have a cure, but it might help. Okay? Chiropractic care, adjusting the neck, that's the nerve supply up into the eyes, might help. And then Dr. Joe's nitric oxide support helps support healthy circulation. That might help. So good plant-based diet, chiropractic care, nitric oxide, super greens, essential source. That's the best advice I can give, and let's see what happens. What else?
All right. Somebody's looking for the best food for high blood pressure.
drjoe.com. Type in the words high blood pressure and listen to the whole show. It's not just a thing. You can't say, well, I'm going to eat beets and I'm going to lower my blood pressure. No, it's a protocol. Now, the best supplement for high blood pressure is Dr. Joe's nitric oxide support. Opens up the blood vessels. But that's part of a protocol. So listen to the show. It could be a digestive issue. I've had skinny vegans with high blood pressure. The stomach is pushed up against the diaphragm. It irritates the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve controls the heart, and it can increase your blood pressure. Pulling the stomach away from the diaphragm, fixing the digestive system and the nervous system, the blood pressure oftentimes naturally drops. So there is no food. It's a protocol. And listen to the show on blood pressure. It's the #1 show on our website. It's the most listened to show we have. So, and then if you want to come see us, which part of that's going to be come see us, we look forward to helping you do that. So, but right now, Super Green Essential Source and nitric oxide. Order those right now. So.
All right. And somebody else later asked, can I take nitric oxide with high blood pressure? So that's going to be a
That answers a yes. Don't take it with low blood pressure, though. Low blood pressure, no for nitric oxide. What else?
All right. Somebody's also looking for the best foods for hypothyroidism.
drjoe.com. Type in the words thyroid, and we did a show on that. So hypothyroid is the thyroid was hyper probably, and it burned out and crashed. So Super Greens, an essential source, have iodine in it, and iodine is so vital to so many different functions, especially to thyroid. So listen to the show on thyroid, order Super Greens, an essential source right away, and then when you come see us, we'll talk a little bit further about what we need to do from there. But cut out fluorine, chlorine, and bromine. So that's getting a water filter for your house. Absolutely. Chlorine and fluorine and bromine are haloids. They look like iodine. They block up your thyroid, and they prevent you from absorbing iodine. So, yeah, get a water filter, listen to the show, come see us. But right now, Super Green's an essential source. What else?
All right, here's something else you probably know a little bit about, ankylosing spondylitis. Somebody's looking for a treatment in place of medication.
We got it for you, baby. Ankylosing spondylitis is an autoimmune disease. The body is attacking the spine and causing the spine to fuse together. That's a real simplistic version of it. Men more than women. It usually starts in the hips and works its way up. It can start in the neck. It's called diffuse idiopathic skeletal hyperostosis, or DISH. In the low back and mid back, it's usually called ankylosing spondylitis. Similar situation. They're slightly different, but similar presentation. So you have to get chiropractic care. I mean, I don't know why the law does not say if you have ankylosing spondylitis, you have to have chiropractic care to keep the spine loosened up so it doesn't fuse. It's an autoimmune disease, so listen to the show we did on autoimmunity, drjoe.com, type in the words autoimmunity. Supplement-wise, Super Green Essential Source, nitric oxide, vitamin D for the immune system. We also have Dr. Joe's Wellness Booster, which helps the immune system as well. It's one of our lesser-known supplements, but it's great for the immune system. It's Echinacea, Pau d'Arco, olive leaf extract, and suma root. It's a very strong liquid. It has a very strong flavor to it, but we got to stabilize your immune system. Listen to the show we did on immunity, and if you don't come see us, go see somebody for chiropractic care. I've had 2 patients in my career die from ankylosing spondylitis. They came to us in the later stages, and the spine was so fused we couldn't break up the fusions. Early on, there is no breaking up of the fusion. We just prevent the fusions from happening. So come see us as quickly as you can. What else?
All right, so you're talking about longevity, and somebody commented, keep the telomeres long and healthy.
Yes.
I know that astragalus and blueberries help with that. Any other suggestions?
Resveratrol, which we have in Dr. Joe's Essential Source. And a plant-based diet keeps those telomeres long and healthy. Good. Very impressive that you know the word telomere. Telomeres, by the way, for those of you who don't know it, now you will. It's part of your genetics. It's on your gene, and it's a little tail, and it looks like a little tail of a tadpole. And the longer and active it is, the younger you are chronologically. And as it gets shorter and less active, it comes to a point where you just die. The telomeres are telling you this is the end. So high antioxidant foods, Super Greens, Essential Source, blueberries, resveratrol supplements are great. Wine, people say it has resveratrol in it. Don't use that as a resveratrol supplement. It doesn't work. It has to be organic if it's going to have resveratrol at all, and you have to drink several bottles to a case a day to have any medicinal benefit. So don't do it. So, but good call on telomere. Very impressed. Oh, you're using my mic. Okay. Hello, come back. Yes.
All right. Yes. Specific tea brand that you like?
No. Traditional medicinals is one of them that I use a lot because it's on sale. No, any organic tea is fine. I don't care which brand.
All right. Somebody might have tuned in a little late, but they're asking what they can take for anxiety and help sleeping.
Yes. Listen to the show. Go to our website. Listen to the show we did on anxiety and sleep. It's usually due to a digestive issue. Your stomach isn't breaking proteins down into amino acids. The amino acid tryptophan becomes serotonin. Serotonin becomes melatonin. Serotonin helps with anxiety. Melatonin helps with sleep. It's all the same pathway. See, one without the other, you can't have one without the other. You can take melatonin, however, it lowers your natural melatonin levels. Your body gets used to taking the supplement. It stops producing as much of its own. So I'm not a fan of taking melatonin. But melatonin does a lot of different things. And in fact, it was even mentioned several times as a treatment for COVID. Short-term, high-dose melatonin. So it's really important. It's not more than just sleep. So listen to the show we did on anxiety, drjoe.com. Type in the word anxiety. You'll probably want to come see us because we got to fix your digestive system, get your diet straightened out. We'll probably get you on Super Greens, Essential Source, and digestive enzymes to help break down the proteins into amino acids to produce the neurotransmitters. So there's a whole protocol we have for that. And I understand what you're going through. My heart bleeds for you, and I want to help stop the suffering. And we do that by fixing the cause, not just treating the symptom. And that's what we'd like to do for you. So, if we can, no promises. What else?
All right. Somebody wants to know if we have a couples discount for appointments.
Call the office, 844-44 Dr. Joe, extension 1, and talk to the financial department. I don't do finances. I'm not allowed to. So, drjoe.com. Just call the office. The number's there, and ask for somebody in the financial department. I do not discuss money ever, except for giving you a discount on the first visit.
Me either.
Joe doesn't either. We don't know it. And the truth is, we don't know it. So.
All right. Somebody's looking for some help healing intestinal permeability and food intolerances.
Yes, drjoe.com. Listen to the show we did on digestion, intestinal permeability, leaky gut syndrome. It's funny, years ago, again, I've been doing this a long time. I talked about leaky gut syndrome one time, and I gave a lecture. I was probably in my early 20s maybe. And I remember there's a medical doctor in the audience, and he's leaky gut. You know what the hell you're talking about. You're an idiot. And I went, but I'm not an idiot. I was very young. I didn't have the confidence and knowledge that I have now. And I thought, oh, my gosh, this medical doctor is telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. So I went out and researched the heck out of it. And I was right. He was wrong. And so that's the difference that happened in the past 30, 40 years is that there used to be a divide between the healthcare providers. Now we've all come together, which is kind of nice. We all like each other. So listen to the show we did on digestion. Many times with leaky gut and digestive issues, there's a physical component. It's a pinched nerve in the low back that controls the colon. The stomach is pushed up against the diaphragm. There's a valve called the ileocecal valve, and it can get stuck open or closed, and so we have to fix that as well. So listen to the show and then come see us, and let's work on that whole component because it's not going to fix itself, and there are no drugs that are going to fix it. Might help the symptoms, but we want to get to the cause. And also, food-wise, no wheat and no dairy. 0 wheat, 0 dairy for you. Make sure you do that. That's going to help tremendously. But that's one you want to come see us for. What, a lot of questions today. A lot of smart folks. I'm very impressed today.
Yes, lots of good questions.
Yes.
Got one here. This is not from my wife, but it could be. You can't give up coffee. If you eliminate the others, will you still succeed?
I will still give you my blessing. But here's the rule. You got to switch to organic coffee. I'll negotiate everything with you except artificial sweetener. Well, I'll give you stevia for that or Lohan or xylitol. So if you can't give up coffee, I prefer you switch to organic only. There are some people in my staff that drink coffee, and I said the rule is this. I will provide the coffee for the office. However, it has to be organic. We will not allow non-organic coffee in the office. They all agreed, and they're fine with it, and they like it because it tastes better. And then start cutting back from regular to regular mixed with decaf, and then go to decaf organic. So I'll negotiate that with you, okay? And what will happen is, just so you know, what's going to happen is eventually you're going to cut out your coffee. You're not even going to realize it. You're going to start getting so healthy and feeling so good that you're not going to rely on that crutch anymore. But as of right now, I'll let you do organic. I'll give you my blessing. I was raised Catholic. I can do that. What else?
Somebody has osteoarthritis of their knee.
Uh-huh.
They have a high A1C and surgery is not possible. What do you suggest?
Acoustic wave therapy. It's a new treatment we have in the office here, and it's amazing for things like arthritic knees and shoulders. Wonderful. And then you need to put the bones back in place. If you have an high A1C, you want to listen to our show on diabetes and lower that A1C. But the acoustic wave therapy and chiropractic care, and then ultimately, but hopefully we're going to have a nurse practitioner in here soon. Folks, if you're a nurse practitioner or chiropractor and you're looking for a job, please call us. We are having the darndest time finding quality people. Quality people is the key word to work with us. So, but we're going to have PRP and exosomes real soon. So, but let's start with the acoustic wave therapy. So you want to come see us for that one.
All right, continuing with the legs. Somebody has lower legs pain when they lie down, especially early in the morning. What can they do?
Probably a pinched nerve in the low back. I have it too. And I have a fracture in my low back, a pretty severe fracture actually. And if I lay the wrong way, I get shooting pain down into my leg, especially in the morning after laying all night. So, yeah, that's probably another one. I sound like a broken record. Come see us and let's get those hips and sacrum and knee back in place, and let's see if that is. Now, it could be something else. It could be a vascular issue. It could be phlebitis. But we'll check all that for you when you come in. So probably a pinched nerve, though.
All right, and somebody's looking for a supplement for Gilbert syndrome. Gilbert apparently had liver issues.
That was a liver issue, right? Yeah, it's a rare one. Gilbert, right? Is that liver?
Yeah, it's according to Dr. Wikipedia.
Ah, okay.
It says processed bilirubin more,
right. There you go.
slowly.
Got it. Okay. So nitric oxide for circulation. Supergreen's an essential source, of course. That's the starter point. Glutathione is going to be the key for liver. So glutathione is going to help the liver work more effectively, and then digestive enzymes. Because if you're not breaking down your food properly in your gut, the stress then goes transferred over to the liver. So if you get digestive enzymes every time you eat a meal, you take a digestive enzyme. Supergreen is an essential source. Nitric oxide for circulation, and then glutathione for the liver. And then work with that, and then come see us, and we'll put together more stuff for you. But that's where your starting point is.
All right, here's a good one. What does it mean when your joints cracked often when you move?
They're probably out of place, and they're cracking. You might have had a lot of free radicals in your diet eating away at the joints. Now, there are conditions like Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and other conditions where the joints just aren't very stable. But if all of them are cracking, we'd probably want to do an evaluation to see if it's strictly physical, chiropractic, acoustic wave therapy to increase the stem cell production in the body. And then if we need to, then we can dig a little deeper. But I would say chiropractic care and acoustic wave therapy to start. More?
I think we have exhausted all the
No
questions for
way.
today.
I think that might be a record for the most questions ever. You guys win. Good job.
So, yeah.
Please, folks, share this information. Follow us on social media, whatever you're not on, at Dr. Joe Esposito, LinkedIn. You can follow us there, too. And if you want to make an appointment, which is the most important thing, drjoe.com, and we'll see you there. Sunday night, 7 to 9, WSBradio.com, 750 AM, 95.5 FM in Atlanta. Call in with your healthcare questions. We love callers. And tell your friends about the show. See you next week.